Hey everybody,
Hey y'all.
and welcome to this show of
Smithandwaker.
Do you want to do it again?
It's been a minute.
Feels like it's been a long time.
It has been.
In case you forgot, I'm Monica Waker,
And I'm Molly Smith.
and together we are
Smith and
Smith and
Waker.
Waker.
Yes. As if you didn't catch it the first time.
Yeah,
What are we doing today?
we are talking about a really cool trip that we went on.
Oh, we did.
We
Which one? Because we had a lot last year.
What was your favorite one? Do you think this was your favorite one?
It's one of my favorite ones.
Was it?
I feel like it's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah, for different reasons, each one is my favorite.
Mhm.
This one was fun. This was to the Wisconsin Dells.
Mhm.
This one had more riders with us than we've had in a long time,
Yeah.
and overnight.
Overnight.
So there was...
Were there 18? 17, 18?
Yeah. And then we had a couple that didn't
Mhm.
necessarily stay with us as well,
Yeah.
but were kind of around. So,
Yeah.
but it was, for many reasons, it was a super fun weekend. So
Mhm.
we're going to tell you all about that today.
Yeah. So we left on a Friday. 2 years ago we decided we were going to start doing a trip in the fall. And the first trip we did was to the Harley-Davidson Museum in Milwaukee,
Mhm.
and I led it, and it was the first long distance ride I had ever rode. And I was scared to death to do it.
But
Do you
she
remember?
rocked it.
And I took the highway the entire way, because by God, I was just going to get my feet wet, and that was it. But we made it. There were 8 of us. We went to Milwaukee, and Kim was with us on that trip, and she called us the Milwaukee 8, which was kind of cute. But I bring that up because just in a year, it's amazing to me how much I grew as a rider.
Yeah.
From October of 2020 to October of 21, whenever we planned this ride to the Wisconsin Dells. So we decided we were going to do it every October.
Yep.
We're going to do a fall ride every year.
And how much this effort has grown.
Oh, for sure.
So it was kind of fun to see women join us, but this
Mhm.
was like a big weekend commitment,
Mhm.
and people were in, and they rode like crazy.
Yeah, we did. We rented an Airbnb out in the Dells, in the Wisconsin Dells.
It was perfect.
It slept 15, 14,
Plenty.
yeah. And it was in a great location. There was a restaurant that the women could walk to if they didn't want to ride their bikes down. But so we left on Friday, and we rode down. We did go all highway all the way down there, because we left kind of late in the day, and it was
Yeah.
about a 3-hour, 4-hour ride down there.
Yeah.
And we were
It's
trying to
an
beat the
unknown
dark.
area. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were trying to beat the dark for sure.
And we didn't beat the dark, by the way.
Close enough.
Yeah, let's talk about some things I learned on that trip.
What did you learn, Molly?
I learned that time management is very important, especially when you're not by yourself.
Yeah, it's a big one. And I think group riding
Mm-hmm.
adds, if you have 15 people, they have 15 opinions
Mm-hmm.
about how the ride should be done, and who
Mhm.
likes this and who doesn't like that. And I like to ride on the right, and I like to ride on the left, and I like to ride in the daylight, and I like to ride when it's over 60 or under
Mhm.
40 or whatever that is. All of those things being added in make it difficult.
It does.
But the group we had were just great.
It
Was not an issue by any means. Everybody still had the opinions, but it wasn't.
Right.
They weren't issues.
And they were all very forgiving. So I think if you're a woman out there that's planning a longer distance ride with a group of women and you're nervous about it, just communicate your concerns with them, and communicate your plans with them. Be very transparent about what you want to do and what your idea is, and be very firm in the fact that it is your trip that you're planning and you're inviting these people along with you. And if you're welcome to their input is welcome, and that you're moving forward with your plan.
Yeah,
and
but ultimately it's your ride, and
Right.
and if people want to be able to control that ride,
Mhm.
then they should plan one.
right. Mhm.
That's the best way
Not
to do
that
it.
that was an issue.
No,
It was not
not
an
at all.
issue. Not at all. I'm just
But it's something that we were a little bit
Mhm.
cognizant of when
Mhm.
going in, because we were like, oh gosh, what if somebody doesn't want to get on the freeway? What if somebody does want to get on the
Mhm.
freeway? Like we were just trying to
Yeah.
weigh all the possibilities, and it turns out we didn't have to worry about them.
Mhm.
Thank goodness, but we could have had to. We
Right.
just didn't.
right. And we did have Jean had broke her ankle.
Yep.
Not long before the trip, so she drove down actually, and she caught some really great footage for us whenever we were riding home on Sunday that we'll share with you. So You want to drop the video in from the ride down?
Sure.
Okay, well, here's the video. So I use Relive to record all of our rides. And if you're not familiar with Relive, it's an app that you can download on your phone. And you can record your rides. And whenever you take pictures, or if you purchase the app, the premium version of the app, if you take videos, it'll drop it into your ride and create a little story for you. So we decided the easiest way to tell our story for this one was just to share these videos that we had made for you. So here is day 1 of the ride down to Wisconsin Dells.
That was so fun.
That was fun.
That was super cool.
Well, it was fun for us because we know that it was fun. But that video is just really kind of boring because it was just the ride down and a few pictures.
But it's fun to see, like, this is what your road looked like. This is what your elevation was. So the app is super cool.
Our top speed.
And it is fun to know what's coming next. So you had to be there to understand what was coming next. But we'll show you that too.
Yeah. So you saw a picture of my bike. Monica, how do you pack whenever you go away for the weekend? Like, I have done enough overnighting that I take what I need to, and I assume that if I need something more, I'll stop and get it. Oh, fair enough.
I try not to overpack because I don't want to spend 30 minutes trying to jam everything back in or again.
Track everything down.
Right. I've decided I'm okay with a couple days of jeans wearing. And worst comes to worst, I stop and do laundry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we all overthink it. I also don't wear a ton of makeup though, so I don't have to ever worry about bringing that with. I may grab a little blush. Actually, I grab just my brush that has blush in it because there's usually enough in it to get me through a few days. But other than some lotion and maybe a little chapstick and tinted chapstick, maybe. I really don't put a lot of that on. I probably take up more space with my bandanas than I do with my makeup.
Yes, they have to match.
Because I matchy.
Yes.
How about you?
Mascara. I like to have my mascara. A tinted moisturizer whenever I'm out on a trip like that, and some chapstick or tinted lip something. Yeah. Not a whole lot. Yeah. Especially when it's hot because it's all just gonna sweat off.
I'll just run. Yeah. And you end up with
panda eyes. Yeah. If I'm gone for a weekend, I only really take one extra pair of jeans. Like it takes probably maybe. Why are you laughing? You're saying about Colorado?
No. Because I always have this horrible feeling like, what if I split my jeans while I'm out there? Like, no, if I only have one with me, I gotta have a second pair of jeans with me, even if it's just an overnight, just in case.
So I have the pair I wear, and then the pair and an extra shirt and socks. And if I'm traveling with a friend, I don't ever bring like extra toiletries. We try to shampoo and soap and stuff like that.
Yep. So yeah, we've done that a couple of times now. A big old thing of body wash or shampoo or toothpaste, or we share all of that.
Right. So I brought that up because the first picture in that video was of my bike before I left, because I always take a picture of my bike and how I pack it before I leave. So my chaps are usually in my saddlebag, my rain gear's in my saddlebag, an extra pair of shoes that I never use, but they're there. Just like a pair of tennis shoes.
You always think that you might. What if I want to walk around with regular shoes on? And you never do.
Never do. Never do.
Although I will say sometimes I bring my slippers with just so I can put those on, because sometimes my feet get sore from my shoes.
Yeah, yeah. So we pulled into the Dells. It was dark. We were hungry.
Oh, yeah.
But we stopped in at this awesome little Mexican restaurant there in town.
Super good.
And they had a really good queso, and we ate, and then we trekked on to our Airbnb. And then there were 4 ladies on 2 other bikes that mother-daughters that had their own Airbnb, because our Airbnb got full. And
then Kristen was down the street
and
from us.
Kristen was down the street as well, right? So there were 5 that stayed in different places. I don't know why I thought Kristen stayed with us. And then we turned in for the night, and it was pretty awesome.
It was kind of fun. It was like kids in a candy store. I don't know. It was
like picking your rooms.
But everybody got to pick their rooms. There were tons of bathrooms, a number of bathrooms.
There were
4 or 5,
6. Yeah, I think 5 or 6. It was crazy.
Plenty of bathrooms. It was. I was like, oh, this ought to be interesting to watch how we all kind of work together. There were the folks that got up early, the folks that didn't, the folks that snored.
Do I snore?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
No, but we had one of the gals forgot her CPAP.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
She was snoring, and that woke the other ones up. And then I came out into the living room in the next morning, and they were sleeping on the couch. So it was all in fun. We could talk about it and laugh about it and what have you. So it was good.
It was good.
And then next day
we got up and got ready. And
just in case anybody was wondering, no, it didn't take us all morning to get ready.
No.
Turns out that we moved pretty darn fast in the morning.
We did. Well, and we
didn't have to move fast.
No, we didn't. But I think, like I said, if you are planning something like this and you communicate what's going on, okay, we want to be out of the house and go have breakfast, and then we want to be at this place at this time, and we want to be at this place this time. Now, the Dells is a little different. So, selfishly, Monica and I planned the trip. I picked this location because I wanted to go to the Witch's Gulch. And if you don't know what the Witch's Gulch is, it's a rock formation that's hundreds of years old or thousands of years old that was carved out by water. So it's like a little canyon, and you can get there by ferry, like it's a boat tour that you go on. So I planned this whole trip around the idea that I wanted to go there. And I thought that you could ride your motorcycle there. So,
thank goodness we did a pre-ride.
Yeah, we did. That's where I was going next. No, you read my mind. So, Monica and I have this phobia about going on these longer rides like this and not knowing what to expect or what we're going to walk into. She does it for International Female Ride Day every year. She
every day. Like I've ridden them 3, 4, 5 times sometimes just to be sure.
Pre-ride. So we actually drove down to the Dells one Saturday, and we kind of went back and forth on it. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I was prepared to go by myself because it was almost a spur of the moment thing. Like I called you on a Friday and I was like, okay, I'm going tomorrow. I can't do this. The weekend before. Yep. I was like, I can't do it. I have to go down there and make sure that I understand exactly what we're walking into. So we drove down there, and it was a great day. It was a pretty day. We drove down there, and we drove to the the Witch's Gulch, and that wasn't what the Witch's Gulch was. So, and then that's when we found out that it was actually a boat tour. And so we went back into town and found out information about all the trip. And there was a Dairy Queen right there next to the little boat tour station. And we got ice cream. Of course. And then we headed back. But I cannot say enough about the fact that if you have questions about something, the best way to research it, if you have time to do that, is absolutely to sometimes you got to get out and pre-ride it or pre-drive it. Just to do your research on it.
Even if it's about finding out, like, gosh, do we have to be on dirt roads? Are we going to be on gravel? Are we, what is the road? Is there road construction going on? There was one of the trips. I don't know if it was this one, but one of them we had planned to go one way, and then it turned out we couldn't have gone that way because there was construction going on. So we had to make up a whole different way to go. Yeah. So, and
for Door County this year, whenever we go, we'll ride out or drive out there for a weekend and just to check out. That'll probably be an overnight riding out there just to check it out, because I know there's a bridge in Green Bay that I'm squirreling.
You are.
Back to the Dells. So, got up the next morning, went to breakfast, and you want to drop that video in now?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the video of Saturday of us going on the Witches Gulch boat tour, and then our ride afterwards.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Okay.
That was beautiful.
It was.
That's some cool stuff.
Mhm.
Lots of good pictures that come out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nature is so amazing, isn't it?
Between the Witches Gulch and Mindoro's Cut, because I was hell bent on taking us to Mindoro's Cut, and we got a late start that afternoon.
We did.
So we didn't get off that boat until 2. Did we eat before we went?
We had
We had breakfast that morning, and I don't think we ate anything.
I don't think we did either.
We jumped on the bike. Some of us got a snack at the gas station, and then we took off. And I had a long ride planned for us that Saturday, and
This is where time management happens.
This is where my time management got the better of me, and I have apologized to the women on the trip who were very, they're very understanding. They were very, accommodating of the fact that,
it wasn't bad. It
wasn't bad. It's just
our timing got turned around.
It got dark in October, mid-October. It starts getting dark a little earlier. Yep. So when we left Mindoro, we had about 100 miles to get back to the Airbnb, and there was still another leg of that ride I wanted to do that was on a rustic road. And I will tell you, up until the turn that I was supposed to take, I was contemplating it like it was hard for me not to take it. I almost took it, and I was like, you know what? They're going to murder me. They're going to make me, they're going to either make me take this route by myself and they're going to leave me, or I'm leading these women into danger. So we went on back to the Airbnb, and we ordered pizza for dinner and sat around and had a bonfire. Some of the ladies stayed in the house. That was a beautiful night.
Super cool night.
That was, women talk a lot about how I'm going to switch gears a little bit, get a little sentimental. Women talk a lot about how sometimes it's hard to bond with other women and have friendships with other women. And I will tell you with 100% certainty that weekend was an example of how every aspect of that idea is wrong.
And I think it depends on the group.
It does.
I think we were blessed that we had the group that we had.
Right.
I'm not sure that every mix of women that will happen with,
right.
But we got really lucky with the mix that we had.
But what I'm saying is it is possible.
Oh, totally possible. I didn't think it was, though. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think it would be that easy. Mm-hmm. And it was fun. It was emotional. It was eye-opening. It was super cool. It was like one of the best weekends with a bunch of women that I've ever had.
I feel like whenever you remove the judgment and you remove the ego and you remove the competitiveness from your relationships with other women, then you truly can find something. Why are you laughing?
I'll tell you.
Why are you laughing? It's not funny.
Why are you laughing?
You can truly get to the root of something beautiful, and that's exactly what we did. And I feel like at its core, at its very foundation of everything that we've worked so hard to build through Lady Riders of Minnesota and bring all these women together, and I don't even want to say we did that, right? Because we may have started the movement, but
we
together,
were the catalyst to make it happen, but it took everybody's effort to make it successful. But everybody, not just us.
Right.
Yeah.
But with that expectation that was set with Daisy and with empowerment and encouragement, inclusivity, I feel like at its very core, everything that Daisy embodies is what has helped create this in such a beautiful way.
I agree.
And I'm not saying it's always beautiful. Some of the petals fall off.
Oh, yeah.
So you had a very interesting analogy this week with Daisy.
We were talking about Daisy and how we use it. And while we were talking one day, I said, I feel like riding in general is like the center of the daisy. The center of the daisy. I know there's some technical term for that, but the center of the daisy. And then all of us and all the other women who ride and the women who plan rides and the people who are trying to support the same effort that we are all of the petals that make up that daisy. So it takes all of them to be that beautiful flower.
Right.
All of us have to be involved to do that.
So like it's not just us.
Yep.
It's all of the other women who are doing things in the riding community for women as well.
For sure. Yeah, we did. So of course, this is what I was giggling about early, because all of a sudden I get around a group of people and my work hat tends to go on once in a while, and so we played this game where I handed a roll of toilet paper to everybody and we passed it around, and the only directions you got was to take as much as you needed, and that's all we said, take as much as you need. So they passed it around, and we had some that took a little corner and some that were just
because some people knew the game and didn't play along right way. I see you.
And then when we got all done, I said, all right, so for every square of toilet paper that you took, you need to share something about yourself. And so it was fun. And there were, and I won't say names because this is their story, and I'm not gonna tell their story. But suffice it to say that there were a number of women out there who we all, when it got to our, and I will expose myself on this one, but when it got to me, I said, I love my antidepressants. I love them, and I couldn't have it any other way. And I was so excited to hear that other women were willing to say that as well. Maybe some didn't, and that they just weren't ready for it yet. But there was that whole thing about changing the stigma around mental health and depression. There was, even as we went around and talked about, what people had going on in their families. There maybe somebody had a teenager that was giving them a bunch of crap, at home, as teenagers can do. And that person would then connect with another person whose teenager was also giving them crap. And all of a sudden they had a support system that they may not have had before, that they could lean on that person, they could share with that person, they could share resources with that person. So it was cool. It was empowering, and I walked away just feeling so much better about female relationships. Yeah. Because I didn't normally have them. It was unusual for me to have a lot of female relationships.
Well, and I think as women, men have the same kind of trauma that we do. I'm not going to take that away from any of you gentlemen watching this, but as a woman, I can relate, obviously, because I'm a woman, and we have trauma. You are? Yes. Today I am a woman. But we have trauma that we suffer at different stages in our lives that creates cautiousness and sometimes the inability to really let ourselves be vulnerable in those situations. And I feel like that weekend was something that a lot of women didn't expect to experience in terms of vulnerability and how easy it was and how safe it was. I don't want to say that it felt, because it wasn't a feeling. It truly was safe. And I got that, I'm sure you got it pinged on the side as well, but messages outside of that weekend about what a great weekend people had, and how much they enjoyed it, and how they're going to kind of spread it to the next, group of friends that they have, so that they can join us too. So really cool. And they did. So this 2022's trip that we're doing is to Door County, Wisconsin, which, if you have never heard of Door County, Google it. You will not be disappointed. But we booked an Airbnb out there that sleeps 27 or 28. It was $5,000, but it's right on Lake Michigan. Right on the lake. Right on Lake Michigan. It's so beautiful. I cannot wait till. I can wait till October, but I can't wait till October. It's one of those things where I don't want it to be here. Well, she's scrolling again. We'll share that with you when it happens. But we filled the house up. Whenever I posted that ride, we filled the house up in 30 minutes, and we had some additional women who want to join us in hotels outside of the Airbnb, and we ultimately had to kind of shut that trip down, which I hate doing. I don't like doing that, because our motto is, there's always room for one more, right? Women motorcycles fun. There's always room for one more. I don't know if you can see this. But safety is one of our long-standing, always-on mottos. Right, and if we have too many people, it's not safe. It's not safe, and it's not enjoyable for the people leading it. No, the people riding in it, it can get to be too much. So because as someone who leads those rides, if you've ever done organized and executed a ride, you know that you take that stuff very seriously. It's not something that you just throw together and you're like, oh, you're on your own, follow me. There's a lot of thought that goes into that, and it is a lot of work. It is. You have to have a passion for it, for sure. But so. That was an incredible day. Yeah, it was good. So that night we all kind of hung out and sat around in our jammies and had pizza. They had pizza and went to bed, and then got up early some of us got up early the next morning. Yeah. We went and got Jean went and got muffins. Yep. We did that the night before, I think, didn't we? We had muffins at the house. We had some treats at the house. Everybody worked together. If you've never been in an Airbnb, there are some parameters that you have to, rules you have to follow and things you have to make sure they're taken care of. Yeah. Everybody worked together seamlessly to get that taken care of. We were all packed and on our bikes, and we got all grouped together and we took off home. And the owner of the Airbnb had messaged me after, a few days later, and said, you guys were one of the greatest groups in our house. We loved it, because we left a picture. Yeah. We had taken a picture. I don't have it, or we would drop it in. Do you? I do, but I don't have it with us. Yeah. We had taken a picture on our boat ride of us in front of the boat, and it was a really fun picture. So we put a copy in their little guest book. So we shared that with the owners there.
That was fun.
But we took off home, and you drop that video, I know.
Here we go.
Here we go. This is our ride home. That was such an awesome ride.
It was amazing.
I mean, I know that Wisconsin has some incredible riding. I knew that. But Wildcat Mountain State Park,
she loved it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
the switchbacks and the sweeping curves and the these things, you know. There were a few of those. So much fun. And it was October, so all the leaves were changing.
Oh yeah, it was gorgeous.
So the fact that I didn't get the whole ride in on Saturday
was made up
for on Sunday.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
We stopped. Where did we stop and eat on the way home?
Rockton
chicken.
Rockton
chicken. It was good. It was. We can say that we've done it now. That's kind of cool. Everybody talked about Rockton, so.
And they accommodate motorcyclists very well. I mean, it's an interesting place to go.
Yeah. The chicken was good. It's cool if you're out and about and you want to grab something to eat. It's a nice little destination because the ride to get there is cool.
Yeah, and you can, if you're in this area, then like it's down by kind of like La Crosse. You can come down on the Wisconsin side and then go back up the Minnesota side on 61, or you can take Highway 3 to 61, which is what we did. But I'll get to that. So, the funniest thing that happened to us on the way home.
What happened?
I kind of mapped the route out, and I'm one of those people that will get my map and will on my MapQuest, and I'm looking all over, on my phone or whatever, and I'm putting waypoints in where we're gonna go next, and I picked some rustic roads that I wanted to go on, and I'm very astute in the fact that I pay attention to whether or not a rustic road is gravel or not. what I wasn't prepared for, okay. We turn on this one road and we're going down, and I know that I'm going to have to make a left-hand turn pretty soon. And I go to make the left-hand turn, and there are 16 bikes behind me and a car because Jean had driven. And I stop. And I start waving my hands. No, we're not doing this. So I am not afraid to ride in gravel, typically.
Yeah,
I will do it.
We've done it enough.
We've done
Almost
it.
every ride we end up on it at one. This was a bad one.
But this was like, imagine you're coming up a roller coaster and you can see just barely where it starts to curve down, and that's all you can see because you know it's going to be a doozy. That's what this was, except it was gravel.
It was all gravel.
All gravel. Chona was next to me, and I'll beat myself out, but I looked at her and I said, the F we are.
Hell no.
We are, So I looked, and she was like, oh, thank God. So we backed out and we kept on, but that was probably...
We laughed forever about that.
I mean, you're probably...
We still laugh about it.
Yeah, you're probably not getting the gist of it right now, but it was pretty... If you were on the ride, then you understand why.
So
it was
imagine
so
we're all going down, we're getting ready to take a left turn, and we're like, oh, no, heck no, and then we all straighten back out again and we stop.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going, oh, thank you. Thank you, Molly, for not taking us
Thank
down
you for
there.
not taking it. And it ended up being that the rest of the ride, the alternate route that we went on was pretty good. Yeah. So, another lesson I'll share with you. Sometimes when you plan things, you have to be flexible in your route because you're not always gonna get where you're going the way you intend to go. Sometimes those detours end up working out way better than the original plan.
Yep. And sometimes they don't, but it is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We have plenty of riding in that day, so it's not like we got ripped off.
No.
Right? Or that weekend. It's not like we got ripped off of anything. And like you said, the alternative ride, the route that we took was fine. It was absolutely fine.
It was beautiful. And then we went, like I said, we came through La Crosse, and we crossed over, and the plan was to take 61 from there straight up. But I found a road.
She found a road.
It was County Highway 1 and County Highway 3, I think. But if you're coming up from La Crosse and you jog over onto 3, there is this beautiful lookout over the Mississippi River. That all of those pictures that you saw of us on our bikes individually. Those were taken at that overlook. It was absolutely incredible. And then we just jumped right back on 61 and ended up going through Winona and Pepin and Red Wing. We stopped in Pepin and said goodbye.
And they showed us their verticals.
Yes. I don't think that was in the thing, so I'll drop it in right here. Maybe pay attention. Yeah. I made a meme out of that.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put the meme in there.
Okay, there it is. So that was that, and then we all rode back, and
it was a good day.
That was a great day.
By the time you get to that point in your trip, you're like, all right, ready to be home.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of came into town. Everybody kind of went their way, and then we called each other later on that night.
Yeah, and rehashed it all and shed some happy tears about how successful it was.
Yeah.
So I went from the Milwaukee 8 to the Dells 18.
The Dells 18, that's awesome. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now we're going to go to the Door County 40.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Dory 40. The
Door County 40.
Dory County 40.
We'll work on that.
Yeah. There's something there.
So what's going on with us now, Monica? We've covered all of season 2021.
Yeah, we're done. So so we've started to work through our schedule for 2022. Mm-hmm. We have International Female Ride Day coming up soon. We have Molly's already started all of the plans for lots of the overnight, the 2 overnights that we're having.
We're doing 3.
Yeah. We've got our schedule built, and we are going to focus on having fun this year.
Yeah.
We are going to focus on just enjoying what we do, and meeting new people, and we've got some classes coming up. We've got some motorcycle classes coming up.
Safety classes.
We've got some, if you get in an accident scene.
Safety management.
Yep.
Accident
Scene management.
Yeah.
Accident scene management class coming up. The Donnie Smith is coming up. We're going to be down there. So we're busy.
We are.
We're busy.
We are.
We're going to try to get some time in with our lovebird husbands.
I am so excited about that trip. Can I just tell you, all of these miles that I've ridden with Monica, like last year, what do we say we did between 15 and 17,000? I don't know, something.
We'll just keep it there.
Or something. And it's funny. I'm gonna squirrel a little bit. Monica and I were asked to take over as co-directors of the St. Paul Harley-Davidson Hog chapter, and I think we may have talked about it a little bit, but so that's official now. And so we had a membership drive at the dealership here yesterday, and the conversation had come up about riding motorcycles. Was it which one is better?
Street glides or road glides?
You tell that story.
So as I was walking through the dealership, there are these 4 gentlemen that were bantering, not arguing or anything, but bantering about whether street glides or road glides are better. And of course I had to get in on the banter because I love to do it.
Oh,
and
you have news too. Okay, keep going.
So I said, hey, what are you guys talking about? We're talking about street glides and road glides and how road glides are better. I said, no, street glides are better. Of course, so then we got into that whole thing. And they said, yeah, but here's the deal. You ride on the street and not the road. And that's why road glides are better, because we actually get on the road. And I'm like, you know what, I don't even have a comeback on that one. So I left and went back up to the front and couldn't even come up with a good one there. But then it had already been a long day. So now here come the 4 guys and they're leaving. And of course I had to call them out. Hey, these are the 4 that were bantering about the road glide versus street glide. And so the guy that said he loves his road glide and that they're better, as he was going out the door, I go, hey, excuse me, sir, how many miles did you put on your road glide last year? And he said, I don't know, he gave us some dumb number, like 100 miles or something like that. And we were like, oh yeah, we did 15,000.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah.
That's darling. You're just breaking in the bike? What's going on? I think they were floored.
Yeah.
I think they were floored when they heard that we said that. And I said, yeah, that's because we ride on the street and not just little roads. So they thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's about as funny as it got. You had to be there.
Yeah, I found it hilarious. I did.
And it'll be easy for me to keep track of my miles this year.
Oh, yes. Why is that?
Because my new bike only has 1 on it.
Do you want to drop a picture in?
Sure, we'll put a little picture on the new bike. Here it
Right
comes.
there, right there. Actually, I think we should share the TikTok video.
Okay, TikTok it is.
All right, dropping
Okay,
it
we're
in.
going to drop the TikTok in.
Here it comes.
Because she's a TikTok queen.
Well, I'm a TikTok jester. Okay, here it is.
I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had a friend almighty God, they let my dog out the kennel. When you get it straight up by the mud, you can't imagine it. I've been pulling up in the drop tops with the baddest. Young, been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. We was lurking on her. Ain't show no mercy on her. We was going back to back. We put a curfew on her. It was dark clouds on us, but that was perfect for us. We know you always crash and burn, but it was working for us. Let my tent to B12, double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well. Millions off of retail. Once again, I prevail. Knew that.
So that was a fun video.
That was.
You saw the little tiki-taki, and now we're going to close us out.
Are we?
Yeah, are we?
What's next?
I don't know what is next. Well, you know what? We're going to start. Do we have another episode of this all that we need to do?
No, we've covered all of our rides for 2021.
So I think we talked about doing a mental health issue or a mental health episode.
I would like to do the mental health episode before we kind of move into
Riding season. Because we're going to disappear for riding season.
We're not
well,
actually.
Not totally, but
No.
we're not going to be this formal about it.
Not this formal, no. We're going to drop in some shorter videos of our rides. I think I might post up the relive videos with a little talk around some so that you guys can keep track or keep up with us and share what you guys are doing. We want to know what you guys are doing.
I know, because then we can copy you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
plagiarism is the sincerest form of
plagiarism.
Well, we're copying. Aping.
Okay. We had spoken to some people, so not to give too much away, but our fall trip that we're planning on doing, that's just the 2 of us. I know you're looking at time. I'm gonna wrap this up. But we met up with some people who are going to be doing the same kind of trip that we're planning on doing. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because I kind of want to surprise you because we're not even sure we're doing it yet. So we've told them that we want them to share. Well, I kind of have to say what we're thinking about doing if I want people to share if they've done it.
Just share your rides with us.
Yeah, that
and
part.
then watch for ours because we got some fun stuff planned.
We do.
We're hoping that we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's in the works.
No, we're doing it. Damn
well,
it.
it's in the works. We're not sure which way we're going, right?
Oh, that's true.
So we'll let you know.
Yeah, but we are
This
planning
is all
this year.
over the board.
We're not gonna just take off this year. I
No,
don't
no,
we did
no.
that. Been there, done that.
Nope.
I got a T-shirt.
Learned my
It's got a
lesson.
hole in the armpit.
Mine
but I
too.
got a T-shirt. Does it really?
It does.
No way.
Yep. Must have been something on the on the shirt.
All right. Well, it's been fun. Thanks for recapping 2021 with us. And
Stay safe in 2022. Ride like crazy. Share your rides.
stay brappy.
Stay brappy.
Next episode will be motorcycle and mental health, and then I'm really excited about that. So
Yeah. We'll have some guests in with us.
yes, we will. So you guys have a great day.
Thank you.